Yes, yes. And you know, that's a really good point about you made about failure, and that um, is that it's often the fear of failure that prevents us from doing things. And I agree with you that it starts with the mindset. And I remember a story when I was initially let go from my job for the first time in my career. And you know, I like I said, I was a hard worker, had strong work ethic. My parents was old school, and so my mom didn't put up with any foolishness about the grades, and you know, it was yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and all of that. And by the time I got to being a director in a company, and I I'll just say this, I lost my way, so to speak, and I lost my way mainly thinking that it was just my effort, my hard work alone that was necessary in order to advance in any kind of organization. And I was disillusioned to the fact that it was more than that. I needed to build relationships. I needed to let people know who I am. And most importantly, Megan, I needed to take off the mask that I was wearing. And I was wearing the mask of trying to assimilate and be like other people. Because, like I said, I didn't come from a background that was in that environment. And so I thought the best way to be successful is to act like other people. But what that did was is that tamped down my individuality, my uniqueness, my power that I bring to the table. And so I then became, well, no different than anybody else. And so from that, and that was, I remember the conversation. I went into my boss's office, and, you know, and the HR was there, and it's usually a bad sign because they weren't supposed to be there. And then you start realizing what's about to go down, and you realize that, you know, I realized that, oh, they're going to let me go. I said, how can they let me? And I start getting angry. I start feeling a certain kind of emotion. I said, you know, it's not fair. I did this and I did that and all that kind of thing. And it took me a minute to say, you know, what I just said, which was I was wearing a mask and I wasn't being my best self, and I deserved in that particular instance to be let go. But I didn't get to that right up front, right? I was